All right, I'll maybe to that I will say, good to see the minister again. After such a long time. Such a long layoff. Good to see you, sir. It's exactly 1 year ago today that you were sworn in as a minister, deployed to the FCT, and you became the 17th minister to take charge of the Federal Capital Territory. And I remember that day when you drove there, that first meeting with the workers and the media, you laid out an elaborate plan to transform the FCT. 1 year down the lane, how has the journey been?
Well, thank you very much. I would like this to be like a birthday, for example. You know, when God gives you life, you had a year, you thank God for that. It's like it's an appointment that by the grace of God, we're able to stay for 1 year. It is not because we are more important or we are more intelligent, but as it pleases God and by using His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic, to give us this opportunity. So we must thank God for everything. I mean, one will say that so far we are very, very happy. Very happy in the sense that we have heard from the news, we have been told that they can feel the impacts of our government as far as the FCT is concerned. The experience is quite very interesting. Interesting not that it's always all that good. Challenges are there, natural. But it's a good experience that being the governor of a state and I being a minister in the Federal Capital Territory, two different things. Here you are talking about Nigeria. In the state you are talking about, yes, that does not mean that there are no outsiders who are living in the state. But here is Nigeria you are talking about. Here you are talking about the diplomatic communities. Here you are talking about who is who in Nigeria. And so the pattern of administration or governance will always be different. And so I feel so elated that when I came on board, there was this agitation, seen and unseen. Not from a particular part of the country. And therefore, everything was done to make sure that it was not easy for us, to make sure that all the cries, according to them, being justified. But I thank Mr. President for having the confidence in us and believing in us that we will not disappoint him and we will not disappoint Nigerians. Today, one can beat his chest to say that we are happy with what we have done. Residents of Aberdeen are happy with what we have done. I'm sure even you who are here, if you sit on your own, you will say, look, we're happy with what we are saying as far as FCT is concerned. Our ambition is to make FCT be a livable city where people can feel comfortable, where we can say, yes, we have been traveling around the world. We have seen how cities are planned. We have seen infrastructure in cities. That is our own ambition, to turn FCT to one of the best cities in the world, not only because of infrastructure, but also in terms of environment, also in terms of security. That look, we are happy. And if you look at when we came, what was the state of FCT? where were we? And then where are we today? As when we came, you can attest to the fact that nothing was virtually working in the FCT. Everything was just like, oh, yes, the capital territory, so what? Infrastructure was not everything. Contractors have left every side. So it was like, come on, what are we seeing? Insecurity was the order of the day. The sanitation was very poor. Everywhere was dark. So it was a big challenge. And like I said, when you have a spot of the appointee who believes in you and gives you all the necessary support that you require, and you are also committed to achieving the results, you will see that this will come out clear. And that's what we're seeing today. Where do I start from? FCT was where staff could not achieve their ambition, where their growth was stagnated, and no one could take the bull by the horn to say, look, how do we make sure that people who are working are happy with the system? Their growth is not stunted. And as I say, leadership in everything you do is key. So many people are running away from this aspect. This is saying, perhaps other places, we should not do this, we should not implement it. But it took the leadership of the president to say, listen, I have said my government is New Hope agenda. If my government is New Hope agenda, then why would I not bring back that hope that we lost? Why would I not bring back hope that the workers say we fail? Yes, I've lost hope. We have lost hope. We can't grow. And the first thing you did, I'm here for you, was to implement that FCT should be autonomous by having its own permanent secretaries who was hitherto never allowed, by having their own another service, by establishing their own civil service commission. The day the president made that approval, you can see the happiness of workers. Can this be true? Is it possible? Yes. That is the essence of the New Hope agenda. Now today, in this FCT, we have not less than 12-13 permanent secretaries. Before now, we only have one permanent secretary who be posted from the Federal Service Commission, not even staff of the FCT. But that is no longer the case. Today, you have the head of service of an FCT. Today, you have Civil Service Commission that is in charge of training, discipline of workers, promotion of workers. Now, what it means, take for example, two have retired and another to be appointed. So you can see, people are not go, and I'm a director. There is hope. I will one day be the permanent secretary. Not only that, there is also hope I will be the head of service. Because the head of service now is retiring in the next 1 month. So someone will acquire that position who was not there before. So you can imagine the happiness in the workers. Now, Mr. President, look, yes, we have had permanent secretary, but there are key areas. Our administration, our agenda, have always anchored on inclusivity of governance. Women are very important. Youth are very important. How do you have secretaries without talking about women? Those who take care of women, without talking about the youth. And as a secretary, is root up. So listen, we cannot talk about government, we cannot talk about inclusivity without having the separate secretaries. So he approved the establishment of the Women's Secretariat. The Hotel will have mandate secretary for women. And the clamor for the youth. You remember, when I was going around interacting with stakeholders, one of the things that they asked for, allow us to have youth secretary, appoint a mandate secretary that will be overseeing the affairs of the youth.
What would they be doing specifically?
What, of course, we're talking about how do you bring in the youth? How do you make sure the youth are involved in what's going on in the government? How do you make youth to empower them? Right? In fact, one of the assignments I gave to the Minister Secretary, listen, it is not only shouting outside. Now you are the Minister Secretary of the youth. You asked for this youth secretariat. You must have to go and sit down now and bring a blueprint. How do we involve the youth and how do we create them to be part of the government? In terms of job, in terms of employment.
Has it done that?
It was just a warning. So, but the point is that it is easy to stand outside and criticize. Now you have been given the opportunity. You have to show that really with the youth, we are really interested to make sure that we are involved in governance, we are involved in the development of the youth. You must bring a blueprint so that the government will know this is what we are going to do. For youth.
I know that they will do their job and submit to you, but I'm just trying to find out what is your mindset? What would you like to see? Is it create jobs, create an environment for jobs, or what? For the young people particularly?
Now, let it not be. I'm trying to take away the job of the mandate secretary. Who wants to talk about youth? Of course, you have to talk about the creation of a job for them. You have to talk about how the empowerment. These are things you must have to. Not just creating a youth secretariat. No. You have to talk about job here, which is important. In fact, if you ask me, I'm trying to submit to Mr. President a supplementary budget, because before now, the youth secretary were not there. Now that it's established, so there must be fund for them. I have what we call Youth Development Fund. But let me not.
Let me take you to one other area.
What about the power for inclusion in governance? That was one of the things we promised. Carry youth up.
First of all, you have the youth mandate secretary. The general council is the youth. The mandate secretary for the area council is the youth. So, there is government. But again, establishing a secretary like this for them tells you have to play a lot of roles in government. But like I said, that is the job of the mandate secretary to bring his blueprint and how government will really have positive impact.
Secretary for women who have been there longer than this one. Are we seeing that in the blueprint?
Yeah.
Visible changes.
The Women's Secretary for Women. We had other secretary before the approval for the establishment of the Women's Secretariat. She came in, if I'm right, around January from this year. Mind you, we had done the supplementary budget of 2023 before the establishment. And what we did was to include them in 2024 budget, which she has submitted what she intends to do as far as women are concerned, and we're in the process of procurement to make sure that all those things she wants for women and for women to be affected are all there.
So we've talked about, human development, this aspect of inclusion, just like you have spoken about. In terms of, looking at your intervention scientifically, you've seen infrastructure development in different aspects, the rail, the roads and all that. But you and your colleagues signed performance bonds with the president last year. In terms of the timelines, what is the report at the moment?
Well, I think that should be, if you ask, I'm not the examiner. That would be the office of the SM to the president to say, look, in terms of deliverable and the time plan, that this minister or ministry, but if you ask me, as a student who wrote the exam, I would say that yes, we've not credited me well.
Adding to that, I'll say, have you met your goal?
You cannot accept, but in terms of, we just been able to talk about human capital development and the rest of what we've been able to do. In fact, just because you asked, I would have also told you, one of the things that President did that has aided our work today, and that is putting us from the TSA. In fact, it was not there, it will be difficult in terms of provision of
instance.
Of course.
Okay, you identified this as a
yes, I felt that looking at the whole scenario, and it was hampering effective provision of infrastructure and the rest of it. Every fund was the central bank, right? Was the central bank. And if that is the case, you are not going to participate in another financial market. You have no business with commercial banks. So it's only when funds come from either the national budget or the IGR, which is paid to central bank, that you can embark on the project. So, I as a president, you see governance as business. If governance, business to fail. So don't want governance to fail. If don't want to give excuses. One of the best things I think you can do is allow the institute to pull out, to participate in whatever financial market, where we can ask money, we need this money to be able to execute our projects. And by the case, okay, how do we get our money back? It's okay, yes, to get our money back. Let our IGR be paid into our account with you. And then we now deduct monthly in order to be sort of paying back. What's the advantage of that? The advantage of that, you're no longer waiting that everyone is going to get from IGR. Take for example, if you get 20 million, it means that you will share that 20 million, for example, amongst all the interests. And that will not be enough. Now, the bank has given interest for 200 billion, right? And bank will look. We will take like 6 billion or 5 billion monthly, as the case may be. Now you have 200 billion spending on infrastructure. You still have leftover from the IGR, who can use to run daily activities. So the contractors they are aware that there is a fund for them. So everybody will want to work.
No, Your Excellency, many would recall that when you came into into office, you hit the ground running as soon as you assume office. And in terms of the infrastructural development in the FCT, a lot of transformation has happened in the last 1 year. However, other people share different thoughts with regards to your attention to other sectors like agriculture, education, transportation, and security, which has been an age-long issue in the FCT. What plans do you have for these other sectors?
Okay, people are not being fair to the government. You talk about transportation. You were here when the president flagged off the operation, it was comatose. Today, daily, passengers we have not less than 4,000 that use that road. And the reason of Mr. President, he gave out for 6 months free ride, which will expire by the end of this year. We are able to flag off 2 bus terminals. The third one will be 26th of this month, which will be at the central business area, at the back of the able. That is to improve our transport system. We want to talk about education. But you forget that I have flagged up total rehabilitation of over 21 schools as we came. As I speak to you, I sent a letter to the Bureau of Public Procurement as yesterday to allow us emergency rehabilitation of not less than 30 schools. Because if you allow to go to the procurement process, that takes a lot of people for months and a year is not ended. I just spoke with the DG this morning and they said, look, I should assure them that we are going to give attention to it. That is in terms of education. Not only that, for the first time, where teachers are saying they have never had any training seen in this FCT. But for me, education is not only providing infrastructure, but of quality education to make sure that the teachers are well trained to be able to impact positively on our children. These things, you may not see them. What you see is because people who go every day, I'm going to say, I'm a best officer, you know what we have done. It's not just saying, what have you done? No. Most of these schools too are in rural areas. We are not only concentrated in schools in the city. Ordinarily, it is not our duty to go and begin to talk about primary schools. The function of the area council. But we cannot say because the area councils are not able to carry out this. Therefore, we shut our eyes. No, we are not allowing that. Look at the area of security. What was the FCT as a time came? You were talking about kidnapping the other there. When we came, we said, look, we are going to tackle it head on. Security agencies were lacking what they require in terms of fighting crime. New vehicles, they are not encouraged in terms of logistics. But as we came, I made sure that all these things were provided for them to be able to fight crime. You are telling the fact today that yes, people can now sleep with their eyes closed in the FCT. That does not mean from time to time you will not be able to say, oh, this crime has been committed. And I want to tell anybody, as far as society is concerned, even in developed societies, you will not hear that no crime was committed. No, it's not correct. But if we are very, very objective, you know that security has improved at the FCT's concern. We are not still on our own. We believe that we must still work hard. The city and other security agencies are doing very well. You know, you only hear one crime. But you hear that they are able to stop about 50 crime because you're not in a position. I get intelligence report, security report every day, every morning. The commissioner of police will send me the report, see what has happened last night, see what I've done, see what I'm doing here, see the criminal, and I can tell you with all confidence that they have done well.
What about?
I'm talking about one.
I'm talking about 4.
Luckily for us, I had a meeting with the ambassador of Italy. Today Wednesday, that was last week Friday. He came here and said, look, there's an opening for us to partner with a land, and what area do we really want? I said, look, I'm not very much interested in all this memorandum of understanding. I'm not interested in only signing agreement at the end of the day, you get nothing for it. Practically, tell me how serious are they in terms of partnering with us as far as agriculture is concerned. We have very good land for agriculture. We are ready to provide no less than 20,000 hectares of land for agriculture. And I can tell you, I was very elated as at Monday when I spoke with the governor. And we were going to began in the first week of the second week of September to concretize this agreement of agriculture is concerned. You see, we talk about, I want to talk about, we're beginning at fertilizers, we're beginning at seeds to farmers. That cannot really solve the problem in terms of food security. You need proper farming. And that is why in all the rural areas today, which has not been the case, you can't find roads. And when you talk about agriculture, when there's no road, how do you convey the people how? So we make sure that, look, if we're talking about agriculture, there must also be road infrastructure. That's why if you go to 6 area councils, go and see the openings. Go and see the openings. The local farmers are happy that yes, they can go to farm. Security
what is your target for that sector so we can know what to measure and how to approach it? What are you targeting and when?
You're talking about inner roads.
That was my question.
This is about food security, guys.
That's where I wanted to go to, because I know that during this administration's first year in office, you did commissioning for between 9 to 11 days, project upon project. But citizens are asking, with this energy and zeal within the city center, what are you doing for the rural and satellite communities?
That is what I've said here. I said that for the first time. It has never been the case that we have 6 area councils. As I speak to you, there is no area council that you go to now, you must do 2 rows being done at the same time. When you even know the commission, you also commissioned. Even though it is not the attention of the presidency, it is not the presidency to call and commission such rules like in Bali. Alright? By this December, by the grace of God, we have commissioned not less than 75 kilometers of road in the 6 area councils by this December. And these are roads that are being carried out by serious contractors like Setraco, like Biemo, like that. So, what is our strategy? These roads are necessary in order to encourage our local farmers to have access to their farm area. 2, for those who want to do very large mechanized agriculture, which we are trying to partner with the land. Can we do this? We don't have access road. So it's key. But there must be access road.
Can we bring on board a little bit, because we might need to join two concepts in terms of agriculture and security. I remember in some of our discussions we were talking about some arrangement with the bordering states in terms of securing, especially our local areas that are, have joint borders with Kogi, for instance, Kaduna, Niger, and Nasarawa, to make sure that those places are secured, especially because, of course, we have farming communities there, and we have a lot of, also roots that some of these people.
I don't want to lose sight of the question that my colleague from the ADB asked, which is, what is the intention, what is the goal, the objective of your policy on agriculture, for instance? Is this self-sufficiency in food consumption, or for export, to contribute to Nigeria?
First of all, you have to feed yourself first before you talk about export. The problem today is that food prices are high. It's not true. Or they are not available. So our policy, first of all, provide enough food so in order to crash down the prices, so that the people will not die of hunger. Then, subsequently, you can talk about using agriculture to raise revenue. But you cannot talk about just revenue. When you are running out of hunger, Nigeria removed taxes on some commodities in order to make the people to society. So our policy first, feed ourselves, feed our people, then you can talk about raising revenue.
Well, Your Excellency, what is your plan concerning the housing deficit in the FCT? That is another area that I believe a lot of people would want to hear what plans
The agriculture is not concluded.
Can you allow him to
So, sir, maybe as a follow-up to what we were talking about, because, to do agriculture successfully, of course, there must be security, and those, locales, those environments are places that are a little bit porous to, some of these people coming in, like we discussed in the last.
I have said to you, we want to make improvement in security. We are not talking about only just in the city. We are not talking about security only in the city. We are not talking about security in the rural areas. If security does not improve, that will hamper the policy on agriculture. So you need to improve security in the rural communities for them to be able to go to their farms and then to be able to produce. So our policy said that, look, in order to encourage our farmers, we must assure them of safety. And that's why today, within the borders, like I said, Abuja is at the center. You have, like you said, Niger State. You have Kaduna State. You have Kogi State. You have Nasarawa. That's why the security will try as much as they could, then they have to make sure that there is filtration from hoodlums, from the areas. It is to tell you that security has really improved in most of the boundaries. That does not mean you cannot say one kind or the other.
This part of the question on agriculture, just one more, guys, if you will. The problem we've always had is storage, perishable goods, transporting these products so that it can be sustained. So are you looking at the larger chain? Are they going to have off-takers if they produce?
I think that you cannot talk about just if you want to feed the people. You must have storage. It's all inclusive. You cannot talk about farm. Only just going to produce. You don't just have to wait to be stored.
So you talk about farmers.
Farming, there's no mistake to talk about farming. It's like you are going to farm, to plant. It only includes in terms of production. How do I store them? They are perishable goods. So you have to provide them with storage. You have to processing. All these are inclusive. So it's not only making it available for people to go to farmers. We need to mechanize farming. It's all inclusive.
So are we seeing people show interest in that sector since this policy has been moved? For instance, I listened to some of the leaders in the, I think it was Kwadi or so, where they said that if the necessary things are provided, particularly road and security, that they are in the position to produce enough bananas or plantain and cassava to feed the entire nation. So I'm wondering if people who are in that,
I have said this severally, but we are providing access roads that will make our farmers to go to the farm too. We also said we have improved security to assure them about safety. For them to be able to go back to farm, I have said to you severally. But I also said that having said that yes, security has improved, does not mean that you cannot hear one or two crimes being committed. I remember that clear. And I said, and that is what has given confidence to a rural people that today, that I wish we have time to take, let us go and see what you are talking about when you talk about access roads.
Well, Your Excellency, do you think that the FCT produces enough agricultural produce to be able to not just feed the people like you rightly mentioned, but also establish processing and manufacturing industries to boost up the manufacturing and export industry, especially in Abuja?
That question you asked, I told you to answer it myself. Why are we talking about food scarcity in the country? If we are able to produce enough, then we need to talk about food scarcity. So, the people you say, are we making plans for FCT to be able to be self-sufficient in terms of food production? Yes. But have we been able to do that? No. And have we been able to say we have produced enough that can sustain everybody in FCT? No.
So if we are not going to deliver this agri too much, can we just perhaps just look at this one as maybe to round it up? Are we targeting particular commodities, or is it just a general thing? Are we targeting particular commodities?
First of all, we have an advantage of producing so many things. We have an advantage that we can produce yam. We have an advantage we can produce rice. We have an advantage we can produce cashew. So if you take the ones you know that you are able to produce to the point that yes, you will be satisfied. You cannot say you want to involve. So part of the problem we have, take for example, when I went to Plateau, okay, we were campaigning then, the PDP, PDP parameters. So I went to Plateau to campaign. This was my first time of going to Plateau. So as we were landing, I said, look, this country is just the West. Look at the weather conditions in Plateau, look at the land. So for me, I said, I have a question. What is the advantage? What do you have as advantage to them like any other state? Take for example, okay, in this region, I think you have an advantage of producing rice. Take for example. In this region, I think you have an advantage of producing cassava, for example, because of the type of land you have. My intention is, can we have land? Because land belongs to state government, does not belong to federal government. So, Plateau, tomatoes, what do you call it, thought on this. If we go to this, that would be good. Not just plan, also processing. If Plateau gives us, for example, 20,000 hectares of land, I believe that the federal government should be able to, okay, we are able to bring so amount of money. Sit down, form a proposed vehicle that the state government has interest, the federal government has interest, but will not be run by the state or by the federal government. But will be given out to export who manage that farm. So we are producing just potato and this and that, and then we are doing processing. You go to rivers, for example. What is the advantage? Is it oil or is it cassava? Can we have so hectare of land? Government is going to bring the money. Government is not going to give the state the money. Government and state can form a special vehicle. So the people of producing a lot of capital for export. Now you find that, and that's what concerns me most. When I had before now that I was governor then, and then the government has spent over 5 billion, what do they call it? And then I just ask myself, come on, so food. No, are you telling me that if you put 5 billion naira in farming today, you will not see the commodity? So the point is, you see, let us just tell ourselves the truth. Even those who say they are farming, for example, it's really true that they are farming. You know, leadership. And that's why in this country requires sometimes somebody who can send it to hell.
You think it's not true?
I don't know what I'm going to say. When it comes to spend 580 billion to grow rice. And then you can somewhere throw that again of the good thing. I mean, just I don't want to see that. If the women could see, it requires, politics is very delicate.
So are they political farmers?
I don't know what to call it. What I'm trying to say to the social you don't you went there. What I'm saying that having had one such figure was rolled out, I expect that yes, if that money is really put to farming as it was, then we can be talking about hunger.
Costly.
We can be talking about that. So it's not for me. It's not just coming to say that look, I'm a farmer. I need money. Government can also put up a strong tax force that look, this is money that just goes that way. If if you tell me that you're going to do farming, yes, what period from what period that we will expect. For example, if it's rice, how long does it take? You understand me? Maybe it takes 2 days, for example. I will make sure that 2 days we are seeing the production of the rice. Because if not, you will wait for it. And you see, people need to be punished. And that's why just like somebody comes here and you pay him mobilization fee, for example, to go and do job. And he comes to give you excuses. That can happen. That can happen to me. And that is why every company knows I can wake up from the house, tell my audience, we are heading to so area now. Tell the director of press, everybody, we are going to do this. I don't give the contractors notice. The moment you give them notice, they prepare. That's what they do. Yes. But when you come, you know the reality. Yes, work is going on. Work is not going on.
Even from agriculture, now let me take you to transportation. And then transportation, after 6 months, in Abuja, and you look at the mass transit scheme that we always talked about. Now, private vehicles, account for like 80% of running as commercial vehicles, cars, unpainted or marked vehicles, and that has led to the surge of this one chance, menace of one chance. What are you doing to alleviate something of the people? This mass transit scheme.
You have seen here, and probably it's good that you forget this too. Where you are about, we're only concentrating infrastructure. We are not about transport. Before I want to go to our boss, Abuja, all the vehicles that are on the road, you're never going to Sultana, they know who you are, who you are not, etc. By the grace of God, we can't just now go to the road and send everybody we are not made an alternative. You must have to provide alternative. And that alternative is to reduce this level of one, except you take the risk on your own by going on the road. A vehicle you don't know, you are there stops, it's okay. So if anything happens, that is, it's not everywhere. That would be wrong to say it's everywhere. No.
Most places.
No. How many places have you been to Abuja? You see, it is wrong for you to sit, even me as a minister. No. Let me clear this. Even me as a minister, how many places can I say, as far as even the city is concerned, that you have been to? I move around, but I cannot claim every street in the city that I know. It's not correct. So it will be wrong for you to say everywhere in Abuja. You sit one place or in your street, and then somebody tells you something. You now generalize that is the case. It is not. I'm not saying you don't have such a situation in some areas. Mind you, some of these crimes we'll talk about. If you look at the crime commission, you look at some areas, there are type of crime that takes place in so area. No one crime you can say, like in the city, it will be difficult, like say where we are. It will be difficult for armed robbers to operate here. You know that? It will be difficult. But it will be easier to operate outside. That's the point I'm trying to make. So you can't see the armed robbery to be rampant in the city. It cannot be possible.
Okay.
Now the mass transit scheme you talked about, we know the terminals are already being built.
Yeah.
And we know that Abuja population is over 3 million. How many, what is the target that your administration is looking at in terms of providing adequate transportation via the mass transit schemes when these terminals are built?
No government can provide. No government can provide such number of vehicles that will be adequate or enough. But you need to partner with private businessmen. No one government can try it to provide everything. It's not possible. It's not possible. That's why we're encouraging. Okay, take for example, we have both vehicles. And we know that government is not a good businessman. Those vehicles are mighty. We have been debating, what do we do? Some people say, look, why not call the unions, right? And say, look, we are willing to give out this vehicle on so condition. Some people have argued, no, why not take it as part of empowerment? As empowerment how? Say, some of the youths who are doing nothing, why not give them these vehicles for them to go into this work? The argument. People are looking into the pros and cons. We'll not be able to take a...
So the jury is still out there on this issue?
So what?
The jury is out on this issue?
Yes.
Undecided.
Okay. No. You see, you don't rush into taking decision that way.
Yeah. Because
you just have to internalize it. It's not a, you see, sometimes when some of you outside, you look at it as if you must take a decision immediately. You have to look at the pros and cons before you go into it.
Okay. Let me ask you this before we hit the hour. I don't know if it's come to your notice. I mean, I know there's a new tax drive, an initiative in the FCT, but are you aware that there are some people who are doing business in the FCT and even on the streets that are being consistently harassed by, I don't know if they call them AMAC, but you see people who just always approaching cars. So people don't really know who they are for some reason for the first time.
You're talking about thoughts and thoughts.
Exactly. Is that the initiative? Is that the plan? What's going on?
Look. Let us tell ourselves a simple truth. I was away. A colleague of mine, a friend of mine called me. He's a senior advocate. Said, sir, people came to my office now trying to hijack all our cars. Yeah. I said, what is that? So they're from Transport Secretariat. I said, what is that? I said, give the person the phone. I said, who are you? He said, what are you? He said, pack and pay. I said, what do you mean by pack and pay? Pack car in my house and I pay? And do you know it was correct? So I called the Transport Secretariat. The mandate secretary. Let's come. Who introduced this pack and pay? What does it mean? Who collects the money? Now, unknown to us, there is an agreement between the secretariat and some people who say they are consultants. And then I said, consultant? Then I said, okay, consultant takes 80%. And the state government takes 20%. I said, okay, where is this money being paid? This 20% to government. But that's okay. Come on, draft a statement and call the director of press. Send out a statement that the public should be aware that don't call pack and pay. So sometimes these things are done in connivance with the various secretariats. I was a governor. I know that this can happen. It happens. So you will not deny the fact that you have some people who are doing that. Yesterday, I was watching television. And then I saw where they said the sports department has given out a consultant, something like that. I said, sports department, a consultant to do what? So I called the head of service. Who approved for the appointment of this consultant? I said, okay. Call me the mandate secretary of the social development secretariat. I said, he must be here this morning to explain to me. So these are things you have to fight within the system. And it is not easy. It's not easy. But you see, you sometimes, if you don't bring it to our attention, we may not know. We can't be everywhere.
So this one now is illegal.
It's illegal. That's the point I'm trying to tell you. That's why I said, go and make an announcement to the public. It does not exist. And if that my colleague, that my friend did not call me, if it not happened to him, I would have known. I would have known.
Yeah. Honorable Minister, sorry.
Yes, but you see, the point I'm taking, no matter how you shuffle, you still have civil servants working with you. You see, it is not easy. But you try as much as you can to reduce it to the barest minimum. But to say that you won't find one of such things, then you are not being sincere.
Honorable Minister, we know that President Tinubu campaigned under a renewed hope agenda. And you promised that you were going to fly that mantra in your maiden briefing where you were, and where you reported at the FCT ministry. And the question is, how much of support are you getting from the president to translate his renewed hope agenda to the people of the FCT? Because if there's one place to preach it by Mr. President, it is probably the FCT, where he didn't get much votes in the 2023 election.
Well, you can see by yourself what is going on, the revolution in FCT. I have said before, it requires strong leadership to be able to implement so many things we are doing in FCT. And that is what Mr. President has shown. First, I told you that he gave the support for the implementation of FCT being on their own. I told you that he gave the support that FCT should pull out from TSA. Now, but for that, we would have had serious problems. Mr. President has given me everything I require to work as far as the FCT is concerned. I don't have any excuse or excuses not to perform, because everything you require as a tool to do your work has been given. Luckily for me, Mr. President has never one day interfered in anything concerning FCT. Never, never. Sometimes there are some decisions I take that I know that it will not go down well to so many people or to some people. And I believe that Mr. President may summon me for this. But I go to him and say, I took this decision. He says, so why did they put you there? I put you there so you'll be able to take such a decision. We require strong people who will be firm to take a decision and stand by it. And so that's why it's very easy for me and my team to operate. I am one minister that should not complain at all. There's nothing I have sent to Mr. President for approval. Take, for example, we have issue of procurement problems. Our threshold for capital project here, if it's more than 1.5 billion, you have to go to FEC. You have to pass through the BPP.
More than
1.5 billion. Now, it's more than, if it is in terms of goods, it's more than 300 million. You have to go to BPP and go to FEC. More than 300 million. And we said, this is going to affect us. We can't do anything. It means that in 3 months, no meaningful project can be carried out. And I wrote to Mr. President, and I said, sir, this cannot be possible. We are out of TSA. We are not operating as a ministry. We have our own secretary as seen as commissioners. We have FCT Executive Council. Just like we also have our Security Council meetings. So I don't understand how this can be possible. It is therefore necessary to increase our threshold. Okay. I'm coming to tell you the support he has given. He increased for goods from 300 to 5 billion. For capital projects, from 1.5 to 10. What support do you want for somebody? Yes, he gave the approval. And everybody is so happy. Works are now going on, but like we're talking about schools now, the emergency rehabilitation. So people are now moving. But if it's not that case, then we can't do anything. So what kind of support do you want that has not been given? That's why it is difficult for me to give an excuse that this is not working because of this. Okay. It's not working.
Just
very, very good.
This is just a clarification on some of the things you said previously about the pack and pay.
Yes.
In order for us not to be accused of misquoting you, does it also apply to the airports? The instruction you gave that it doesn't exist anymore.
I don't have anywhere in the airport. It's not under FCT. Airport is under the aviation.
So this is the entire FCT,
We
excluding
we
the
have no business as far as airport is concerned. The only business we have, which I told the minister, and the one doing the road, you are the one connecting the toll. When the road is bad, you say FCT, come and help us do the road. So we have no business. We have no business.
Okay.
So if you find anybody who is doing anything at the airport, that is their business with the use of aviation.
Talking about infrastructure development, Honorable Minister, we've seen a lot of things you have done.
Yeah.
But the citizens, of course, naturally would still want more.
Yeah.
Katampe one, they are talking about infrastructure development and feeling the touch of the FCT. Gwarimpa, they said the gates leading to the place there's a gully, especially when it is raining. That has been mentioned. And then issue of also evacuation of waste in some areas. It's not really as expected.
Let me not bore you. As I speak to you, the procurement process is going on as far as Katampe is concerned.
That's Katampe?
Yes. We're doing the selective tendering. You know, there where we're building judges' quarters. We're having where they are building Court of Appeal, FCT division. So we're carrying out massive infrastructure in terms of road in Katampe, but when procurement process. Let me tell you this, in the next 1 year, what you will see in Abuja, you can come back and beat your chest. Yes, I think we have gotten it right. In terms of road infrastructure, not only in the city. Now, I went through Yaya, Karu, Orozo to Kashi the other day. I felt so bad. The road was terribly bad. I said no. I called the coordinator of STD. I want an estimate of this road immediately. I wrote to the DG, approved for us for emergency 18 kilometers. I said, if we don't do this now, with the rains, it will be something else. It will be something else. That is Yaya, Karo, Orozo, down to Karashi. 18 kilometers. Now, if we go to Kuje, we are now, if you see from the airport down to Kuje, it's 10 lanes. Now, within Kuje, we're able to dualize Kuje down to their boundary with Gwagwalada. Now, I want to do from there now, dualize it to Gwagwalada itself. Right? So, by the end of the day, you will see that people in Kuje, you don't need to live in Abuja. You don't need to. 15 minutes from there, you're in the city. But they can because there's no road. Even from Gwagwalada, you don't need to pass to the airport again. By the time you do announce Kuje to Gwagwalada, you take that and you're in the city here. So we are not restricting ourselves to just road in the city. No. But you will see heavy development in terms of road in next 1 year. You talked about the refuse. Let me tell you, that's one area I'm fighting hard in terms of, you know, these contracts were, I don't know, contract over 1,000 persons. Contracts were awarded. It's really unfortunate, the kind of rot we find in the system, but you have to be careful to fight it because they're all there waiting for you. I can assure you we are going to improve on that. You talk about the golden war, you know, sometimes, you know, there are things that some residents should be able to do. If there's a small pothole in front of your house, as residents there, you can't also look. Can we put ourselves together and make sure we cover this pothole? Things that will not even cost you. Now what to call some kind of service you should also render. I have told our engineering services in FCDA to go and identify areas of flooding when it rains on the road, if you see that no drainage is open, they are all covered drains. So sometimes these drains must have been blocked. So they are not identifying to let the companies who did those jobs to go back and open those drains. So they are identifying that one by one, so I will be able to now know.
One more question from him before we go to politics.
Okay.
Well, Honourable Minister, earlier I was trying to establish, your take on the housing deficits in the FCT. And we all know the President's renewed Hope City, which was recently commissioned in Karsana, and which would also happen in other parts of the country. Now, you established that the President has given you massive support as Minister of the FCT. What would you say you are doing in your capacity as Minister to also help the President in solving the issue of housing in the FCT?
Take, for example, the renewed Hope Agenda housing that we went through. You can't continue with that without the roads. The Minister of Housing has written to me, look, this thing will not work without the provision of roads. As I speak to you now, when procurement process to do all the roads to that New Hope city, which takes about 14 kilometers, all right? Our business is to encourage private sectors. We provide the access road.
All right, and maybe together we say,
who did those jobs to go back and open those drains? So they're identifying that one by one, so I will be able to now know. The procurement process started in April 2023, but was, in March 2023, but was awarded either 12th or 13th of May 2023 to Dantata and Sao at the cost of 184 billion. Now, Gusape 1 was awarded to the same Dantata and Sao before we came in. And now, Dantata and Sao stopped work in Gusape 1 and was asking for augmentation, variation. Now, when I came on board, they said, look, because of the increment, that it has to go to Mr. President, for Mr. President to approve before we go to the Bureau of Public Procurement. Luckily, Mr. President approved for the augmentation, and then we went to Bureau of Public Procurement, and in part of that bill, they put in foreign components of, so Bureau of Public said, look, what has come to do with this? Why would you quote in dollar or euro? In fact, there's a fund I saw, which we are supposed to pay to them, about 1.something million euro. So I asked question, what is euro doing in this contract? What are we importing? But that is the case. Now, what baffled me, we are doing operation, you're out of sight, and we have not paid you. We don't have money. How did you, and I asked them, how did you now, you have not paid for this. How did you now go and award a job of 184 billion
to the same company?
To the same company, when you don't even have the money to pay for this? I mean, I don't understand it. Now, obviously it is important that that infrastructure is carried out in Matama. If that is done, houses will spring up. But it cannot now because there's no access road. So access road is key in order to reduce the housing deficit.
Which you're already on top of.
That's what we're doing now.
Okay.
So that's what we're doing. So it is for our own contribution. It's not we government going to build house. No, it is not that. But if private sector see that there are access, there are infrastructure, they will certainly go there and build houses, and which, of course, will reduce the housing deficit. So we're doing quite a lot. Like I said, road is key to any development.
All right, Mr. Let's talk about politics. Recently, the chief clerk, he had petitioned the PDP, the hierarchy of the party, that they should thoroughly investigate you.
Okay.
And that if you're found guilty, you should be expelled.
Okay.
Then we had the PDP Board of Trustees visit the governor of Rivers State, and they used, the chairman said they will be seeking constitutional resolution. Would you be willing for them to visit you as well? Would you be willing to comply with whatever they say?
Let me talk about, I don't know the party that the chief clerk belongs to. Frankly speaking, since I entered PDP, I've never seen any PDP meeting. I don't like to react to when other statesmen like that. Every time he talks, but let me tell you the history so that people will know. In 2014, when I came out to run, Edwin Clark said, no, that it is the turn of the just, and that nothing will make me be the governor. I said, well, it is my right to run, and I fail, and I come back. But to the glory of God, I ran, and I won. Since then, yes, in class I've written me letters and this, I have refused to talk to anybody. I said I will not answer. I said I will not answer. I wasn't a bad person when I championed for the German to be governor. I have become a bad person simply because there are issues. And I kept quiet. There is nothing Chief Edwin Clark and elder statesman have not said, but I said, I will never, I will not reply to anything. And if there's anybody who has contributed to the growth of PDP, as far as today, is me. So when I read it, they should investigate me. Investigate me for what? He was one of those who were talking about the Southern president. And I supported the Southern president. So what are you going to investigate me? Chief Edwin Clark was one of those who said, no, power must rotate to go to South. So what is the crime I have committed? But I also believed in that. So that I don't want
to. His grounds. His grounds is that you are making, whereas you work for the success of an Ijoma to be governor, to succeed you, but you have also been working to make that Ijoma fail.
How? How?
By the current crisis.
What is the current crisis? Is he not the governor? You see, leadership, everything will not be smooth. I was there. I had my own crisis. Did I blame anybody? I faced the crisis squarely. When I was there, you saw what the federal government did to me. Did I go accuse any ethnic group? No. So, if you are in a leadership position, you should be able to stand by it, face the crisis. That's what politics is all about. Politics is not every time good. Sometimes it will be good, sometimes it will not be rosy. Now, you talk about whether I will listen to...
BOT.
Who's BOT? You see, that's what I don't like. How can I listen to where Adolfo Swabara, who has said that the president should warn me? You are aware that the president should warn me if anything happens in Rivers. That is the man who is going to lead for reconciliation. He said he's the chairman that BOT is conscience of the party. Yes, we agree with the conscience. But you, who said, do you have conscience?
They said they were all neutral.
Neutral who? Nobody cannot say he's neutral. He knows his role. Nobody has no conscience to even say he will lead. Do you know how Wabra became the chairman of ABUT? In 2023, he led a team to visit me when that crisis in PDP about the presidential candidate, and I said, ask him what is the result of the report. That was the man who led. And even in River Stadium, while we were in the meeting, he was telling me the problem we are having here is Dr. Okusuleze Nwodo. Look at him texting, that he's texting that now to the presidential candidate.
Okay,
No, let me finish. No. So you get it clear. And this is what makes me, when I see some people, I say, what kind of characters are these? Now, he told me they will not budge. As they are going now, they are going to submit the report and say the right thing must be done. Ask him, where's the report? The next time, they made him acting chairman of BAT to compensate him. He's a BAT chairman. His governor, Alex Oti, had not stayed 1 year. When he, chairman of BAT, said, look, your second tenure is guaranteed. Second tenure of another political party. And this is the man who says he has the conscience of the party. And yet, people are just talking. You have taken a position. And you want me to say you're inviting Wike to do what? To waste my time, to sit with you, to talk what?
You have a friend that worked there.
But here I remember.
Who's my friend?
Chief Bode George.
I didn't say Bode George as a person is different from who's leading the team. Bode George has always been my friend. But that does not mean that because he's my friend, or he's my father, and therefore I'll go and subject myself to people I know have been looking for every way to bring me down politically. Who does that? I will not do such a thing. They know that. They know. So there's no need of pretending.
Honorable Minister, sir, now several crises everywhere. Let's go back to your home state. What is your comment and position of what is happening in Rivers State?
What is happening like how?
A lot of your supporters, members of your political family who presently they are loggerheads with the governor, some have cried of victimization. And you are the head of that political family.
Yeah.
What is your position on what is happening?
You must know very well that my position has been very clear. That Rivers State House of Assembly must work. And that we cannot allow. I mean, this is a country, madness, where people are so shameless. You don't need to like Wike. You don't need to. But you sit in your house and say 3 people will constitute an assembly. You sit in your house. Forget about Wike. Just sit in your house. For whatever is the case. You said these people have defected. Who pronounces defection? You have gone to court severally. You cannot await the judgment of the court. And impunity is being carried out. I mean, you look at, forget I'm not from Rivers State, you are not from Rivers State, take it so. And you are reading on pages of newspaper, or in your social media. Shamelessly in a country. Somebody said is the speaker. Then 2 people are members. And they go and buy lawyers, pay them money, go to Arise, go to channels, and begin to do drama. People who you think are senior lawyers that should be able to really sit down in their conscience and ask questions. This thing I'm doing, am I really right? That you want to take control of a state. It's natural in politics. Is that why you should allow impunity? A court pronouncing that you do not big budget. Whatever budget you said you have, it's not on the void. It won't go on appeal. Court of appeal gives judgment today. The State High Court has no jurisdiction to talk about defection or vacancy. That's the Federal High Court. Today, tomorrow morning, you go again to the State High Court, file a suit using different people, and that one will grant expert order immediately. And Secretary of Appeal gave judgment today. Tomorrow morning, all kinds of things. And you say we should fold our arms and then watch. Nobody should say anything. I have no problem. Let court make a pronouncement that indeed you are defected. Defection is not by you. Defection is not by you. I've seen so many people ranting. I've seen people who want to suck fun from the state. I like this boy every day. I see him on television. I don't know what it's called. What's that boy's name? He said this is the House of Reps. Who wear this? I see what he do. In IPOP case, you will see him come out. Publicity. He goes every day. He talks about law. I don't know the law he's talking about. Every day, you see him talking about rivers. I said nobody should answer him. I know him. I know his modus operandi. There is vacancy for sucking. Continue to suck. He clandestinely came to at ABUJA using African Democratic Party to sue that INEC should conduct election. He thought we wouldn't know. Unknown to him, before you know where they. How can they go and tell, look, I will do this, I will do this. They collect money. They have filed over 33 suits. Over 33.
Are you not worried that you seem to be losing the kind of ground in River State?
No, yes.
The sympathy is going.
We're going to where?
The momentum and the sympathy is favoring God.
Oh my God, oh my God. You know, you people like politics of, look, when I was to run as governor, there was a sitting governor there. You remember? There was a sitting governor. There was a sitting governor.
All over Rivers now is wicked day or day. Wicked day or day.
Oh, look. What? No problem. Day a day will reach one day. No problem. But what I'm trying to say is that I said I was not a sitting governor. We won. The court notified virtually all assembly and national assembly. President Buhari was the president. The Minister of Transport was there. Was one of the highly rated ministers or close to Mr. President then. There was nothing that did not happen. It was like Gaza and Israel fighting. The government in power brought all the might. What happened at the end of the day? In my 2019, the federal government came out with all the might. What happened? In 2023, look, when they say, why can you lose God? See, there are people, naturally, who are not happy with your growth, with your rise in politics. Take, for example, there are those who were in positions but could not have used their position to help their people. And they see you in such a position that you are not relenting. I'm here. If I'm worried, would I be concentrating on my job? No. It will not. But you see, like you said, it is when the time comes, then you now know who knows what to do or what not to do. It's not about you see somebody first. All those who have ganged up are those who swore over their dead body, will this governor be a governor? I defeat all of them. Yes. What is my quarrel with Secondus? When he was national chairman, he wanted to impose his cousin, who was the former deputy governor, to be the gubernatorial candidate. Yes. That was my problem with that. You cannot impose their cousin here. Now I see him every day with the governor. I laugh. It doesn't bother me. I've done what I think I should do.
Are you sure you have done all that you should do? Let me paint a scenario.
Okay.
My colleague here asked a question about
Yes.
your influence dwindling in Port Harcourt.
How?
Let me explain.
Yes.
People who ordinarily look up to you, some years, I mean, less than a year ago, look up to you with so much respect. Today, they call you by your first name. Wiki cannot come here and do this.
Look, that is.
Let me finish. Let me ask the question.
Am I there? You can say anything you say on television. It's not easy. See, irrelevant. Look.
Let me ask.
It is
you
not.
You don't even know where I'm.
Okay, because
Which is the
Yeah.
what I'm driving at is, for instance, the governor that you had loggerheads with is your creation. Nobody probably knew whom Sim Fubara was until he became candidate of the PDP. So it was your invention, your creation. It is unfathomable that today the two of you are what you are to each other. Don't you think, in the overall consideration of your own political status and the interests of Rivers, that you, as the leader, and the responsibility rests more on you to work for peace? Because, like you said, there have been series of court cases. It hasn't worked. Mr. President has tried to intervene. It hasn't worked. Don't you think the responsibility is on you to work for peace?
There's nothing unfathomable there. There's nothing like that. You must look in politics. You can't say for sure this is how it will be. Why I say I've done my own part is I, with my conscience, did what I did without regretting, and I fought for it for him to be governor. And you now say, look, you are no longer interested to be in a political family. No problem. Nobody can force you. After all, Arabeshala, Ralph was born by who? Tinubu. Is he with him again? Did you support him? Of what all the president did for him? So why do you worry yourself about that? I cannot, in all honesty to you, tell you that there's a going back.
There's no going back.
There's nobody, anybody who knows me know.
You can't support him in 2027.
I'm not talking about support. What is support? The one I've supported, have I come out of it?
So you are enjoying the relationship you have now with people that you look up to before as fathers, but today you are longer people you regard as friends. You are draggers.
That's what politics. That's what politics is. So some people don't play politics of integrity. I do. But you can't impose yourself. I know that who says people are saying day a day. Let me do my day. You too, you do your own day, according to you.
All right, but
It doesn't worry me. I'm focused. I'm doing the work Mr. President has given to me in FCT. That's what bothers me now.
Honorable Minister, in terms of this day I day, at the state level, there is push and shove.
Yeah.
Talking about this, imbroglio in the PDP at the state level. In the national, we had this issue we discussed earlier.
Yeah.
You have been the one that said you are not one to jump parties and all that.
Yeah.
If your house is crumbling, politically, talking about the PDP,
Yeah.
what would be, are you just going to day your day as you have said?
Oh, no, you see, that's why you should know that we must learn. Experience is very key. You must know what happened to you yesterday. I'm not allowed to happen today. If you fail to take history into consideration, then you are digging your grave. And that's why I've said PDP must be careful. As it stands now, the way they are going, they are trying to make sure we have crisis. Take, for example, anybody they think calls me on phone or relates with me is the weakest person. Therefore, the person must go. When you do that, what I try to let me do, I should fold my arms. The acting National Party chairman today is not my friend. He never supported me. The National Secretary, he never supported me. The National Organizing Secretary never supported me. These are their people. In fact, when I was in Germany, in Wiesbaden, when the National Secretary today wanted to run governorship against Hope Uzodinma, he came to me for support. I said, I'm not going to support you. I won't support you. I'm not here to play politics to say, okay, let me think about it. I don't do that. I told him I was not going to support you. What is the problem now? I said, let the right thing be done. You see that chairmanship is zoned to North Central, which is not correct. Chairmanship is zoned to North, and Secretary is zoned to the South. It is within your area how you, do it. But we don't zone National Chairman, North Central. Nobody did that. And that was why in the constitution of the party, they said when the national chairman is not there, the deputy national chairman from that zone will be acting pending when the convention is done for replacement. You don't appoint a national chairman. It's not a caretaker committee. You cannot appoint somebody to preside over those who are elected. And then you're telling us that, look, you want to go to Benue, North Central, to bring somebody. No, there'll be election. There'll be convention. It's not a caretaker committee. And that's why the law says the deputy national chairman should have let you know be that is not loses out, that is not lost out. And I say, look, we must follow the constitution. It is not, you see, politics the way, you see, some people, take for example, my friend, the governor of Bauchi, who is the chairman of PDP Governors Forum, you had his own statement. He has his own interests. So he wants who be another chairman that will play along to that interest. And nobody will talk. If you want to do anything, say, oh, you're a wicked person. And I said, look, the matter has gone to court for interpretation of the constitution of the party. What the court interpret this? Can you bring a chairman that's not elected to preside over those that are elected? The president of the National Working Committee are all elected. And then he said, go and bring this chairman from Benue. I heard before Suswan, Senator Suswan. I'm hearing now the DG of the PDP Government Forum, which is the governor of Bauchi's own private nominee, to go and preside over elected people. Are we working like military and civilian? And I said, nobody does that. You have to wait for convention. And that is the law. It's not about, we did it yesterday. Yes, you may have done it yesterday, and nobody was able to challenge it. Does not mean if you do it today, somebody will not challenge. You know, you can get away with things. And people make reference, after all, last 2 days, we did like this. I agree. We are not the same. Nobody had the same luck. That's why when I came here as chairman, you see my own was turbulent. Was not correct. As a minister. Was it not? Other people have come. Was it turbulent? So everybody has his own luck that nobody challenged it yesterday. Does not mean that somebody will not challenge it today. And if PDP takes that step, I as a person will challenge it. They know. I mean, you see, we are not in the way where anybody think you can come and box anybody in. See what is happening. See what's happening in PDP. The National Legal Advisor is fighting to make sure where he collects tax is not blocked.
And that is explain to us.
Okay, let me tell you. You know what they do? What they do is that as legal advisor, if a state, for example, has election petition, or probably, you talk with the governor will say, oh, I want to bring the lawyer that will stand for PDP. It's okay, you will pay some amount of money. Or he will bring, and then he will tell the person to charge fee. He collects his own. Now, I said that will stop. What happened? In 2023, you know we had a problem with the national. Now, when election petition came, that's why sometimes when you see things, you laugh. You laugh. It's a human beings are terrible. Do you know what these people did? Secondly, they went to the national to get lawyers that will represent PDP. So the election will be nullified. And I said, no, you can't send us lawyers. You cannot. I will not agree. The national legal advisor, oh, they have rights. Okay. We went to court, and the Federal High Court right here, to test whether the state legal advisor has right to give instruction to lawyers to represent the interest of the party as it concerns the state. Now, the Federal High Court ruled that yes, the national legal advisor, no, you cannot do that. That the states, they all have that power, as far as it is the interest of the party at the state level. This national legal advisor did not appeal the judgment. He did not appeal the judgment. He did not even tell his party, look, the court has given judgment. Now he knew that without judgment, he had lost the socket. So states will know their own, not call you. Now what did he do now? The matter he did not appeal since last year. Now because of this reverse problem, a gate of sucking has opened. He is now sucking. Now went to court to say no, he is going to represent PDP. And we said no, you cannot. This is a matter about defection of which people, in which state, that we have to produce the lawyer to defend our interests. The judge ruled, relying heavily on the judgment of Federal High Court in 2023, which he did not appeal, and which he did not disclose to those who are sucking money from now. And he lost. You know what he did? He now said, file a notice of appeal. So those who are giving money, he will tell them, oh, look, we are still fighting on the matter. When he knows clearly, he did not even appeal the judgment of 2023. Now, and I said, we have never had it bad of a national legal advisor who has shown so much that as a senior advocate, no integrity. That made me, I went to Senator Saraki. I said, SP, how do you know this guy that you brought into the national legal advisor? He said, what happened? I said, this guy is something else. No integrity, a senior advocate. You can't tell people the truth simply because you want to. And Senator Saraki said, well, he will look into it. I said, I don't, this guy is something else. No integrity. A senior advocate does not mean, by that word, senior advocate, integrity comes in. Not only you knowing the law.
Well, as a live bencher, you should know that we have just about 5 minutes to round up this program. And
I thought it was 10 minutes. Are you continuing my time?
yes, that's why I wanted to cut your answer short, because I'm sure my colleagues are still angling to ask questions. Okay. So, consider the fact that we have just about 5 minutes.
Short ones, yeah.
Will the question be very short, both of you?
Honourable Minister, considering the fact that you have a lot of crises rocking your both internally in your party and back home in Rivers State. Any other person would have folded very quickly, but you are still standing strong, you are still fighting harder. And it appears to be that the only person who is giving you so much support that should have been coming from the PDP is the president, who obviously is on the other side of the divide.
Giving me support how? He's giving me support to do my work.
Support to do your job.
Not a member of PDP. How can he give me support?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what I want to ask is, do you perhaps in the future see the possibility of exiting the PDP if this persists?
I have told you that I don't want to wait for any fight. I will stay there.
Where?
I will fight it out.
In the PDP?
Yes. Who am I going to run for? The vampires? How can you say that?
But your foot soldiers are already all in APC.
Where are
Members of the House of Assembly.
you are the one telling me now?
The 27 members that
Where
are
did
affected
they,
APC.
that is the subject matter. That's why I said defection comes from you who's mad.
To some people, it's like you're a fifth columnist in the PDP that you want to pull.
Oh, please, those
down the house.
are people who don't have anything to
Alright.
Can I tell you something? Can I tell you something? Anybody who knows me knows too well. If I want to join APC today, why would I? When I was there in PDP, didn't I say that, look, I will not support the presidential candidate? Did I do it secretly? All those people who are saying those things, did they bring one member that won election? The people did not win. I stood my ground in terms of the principle that if this is not done, we will not accept that. You see, people should know you for something. Integrity is very, very important. Forget about those who say, if you couldn't they say this, they are afraid of my face.
Well, Minister, it does appear as though, from what you've said, this may not be resolved until the next cycle of elections. I've heard you say convention and then court have to decide, but do you really think that it can be resolved by the courts or politically?
Look. The only thing that has caused, people are very, very greedy. All these things you are seeing is what they are using. See, let me tell you what's unfolding. Atiku has his own people. Bala is building people for what he considers who will be president, this and that, whether to go to South and that. He has. Do you understand? Now, there's some other people too who are not known yet, playing ostrich. What I'm saying, and which you can't take away from, is that we must follow the law. Even if you hate this man, follow the law. What does the law say? It's not about plotting that you will bring wicked down. You cannot. You don't have what it takes to bring wicked down. You cannot. All Wike is saying, what is the law? What does the constitution of the party say? I will not just as a prominent member of the party, fold my arms, allow somebody to be appointed to preside over those who were elected. National chairman is by election. It's not by appointment come and replace. That replacement.
The local version of the crisis first. The crisis.
I'm coming.
We don't have the time.
I'm coming. Yes, I don't know your interest, but I'm coming. What I'm trying to say is that national chairman, if you're doing caretaker, it can be by appointment. But if it is to preside over those who are elected, that chairman must be by election, and that must be through convention. Now you talk about local version. What is local version? PDP is intact. PDP have done their world congresses. PDP have done their local government congresses. And their faction that did it. The state congress will be next week. Look, I understand how some people feel. I have passed through all this before. Some people who cannot, hunger. No, not hunger. I will use the wrong word. So many people can't stay out of power. You will see people whom you think what the salt, the way they do. In fact, sometimes I begin to ask questions. If this man was my dad,
Honorable Minister,
What would I
would
say?
you permit me to end this program so that we are not cut off?
Okay, so I sincerely thank you, even though you took all my time. But the point is that I'm a PDP member.
All right.
The law must be followed before we go. But if you think that you can go and sit down somewhere and say you will do this, you cause crisis for yourself.
All right. Thank you so much.